Hello friends, it's Lisa, and today I wanted to share some exciting fall book releases. So some books that are being released in the remainder of the year actually. These are all October, November, and December releases. I absolutely love looking for new book releases. I think it's so fun to discover new stories and new authors, or finding out that an author you already love is coming out with a new release. I just love doing these videos, and I actually, when preparing for this video, realized I didn't have a ton of options, so I did go to Instagram and ask you guys for some of your anticipated releases for the rest of the year, and I did get some exciting ones to mention. But yes, I believe I have 10 books to mention in today's video, 10 books coming out in the rest of the year, and I just wanted to share them and put them on your radar. So let's get into it. Also, of course, I have my trusty laptop here, so if I'm looking down or, not exactly at the camera, this is what I'm looking at. But the first one that I want to mention, I recently found out about. It is The Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker, and this one is coming out October 3rd. I believe this author wrote another pretty popular book, or one that I heard a lot about. Yeah, The Keeper of Night. I think that came out a couple years ago, which I've heard really good things about that, but I personally have not read it. I know that I have an interest in it, but I can't exactly remember what it's about, which is just like me with every book that I ever hear about. First of all, we just need to give a round of applause for the cover of this book because it's stunning. I'm obsessed. So this is going to be the first book in a new series, which of course, I love starting new series and then not continuing on with them, so here we go. But the description says, Xylon dreams of becoming a royal alchemist, of providing for her family by making alchemical gold and gems for the wealthy to eat in order to stay young forever. Just the first sentence alone, it sounds so cool. But for now, she's trapped in her impoverished village in southern China, practicing an illegal form of alchemy to keep food on the table, resurrecting the dead for a price. When Xylon finally has the chance to complete her imperial exams, she ventures to the capital to compete against the best alchemists in the country in tasks she'll be lucky to survive, let alone pass. On top of that, her reputation for raising the dead has followed her to the capital, and the crown prince himself seeks out her help, suspecting a coming assassination attempt. The more Xylon succeeds in her alchemy, the more she gets caught in the dangerous political games of the royal family. There are monsters lurking within the palace walls, and it's only a matter of time before they and the secrets of Xylon's past catch up with her. It just sounds so good. I only found out about this book recently, and I'm so glad it got put on my radar. I feel like this book just has a lot of things that I really enjoy. I love a competition element within a book, and this definitely has that with the other alchemists in the country, and also the fact that there's royalty involved. It takes place in a palace. I love that kind of setting, and just the whole concept of creating stones and gems for the rich people in this world to eat so that they stay young forever. That's such an interesting and fun concept, and I don't know, this just seems really, really fun, really interesting, and I'm definitely excited to check this one out. Oh, here we go with my anticipated releases, saying I'm excited for every single book I mention. I'm gonna try not to do that. Alright, next up is one that I have been waiting all year to mention in these anticipated releases videos, and that's Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. This is definitely one of my anticipated releases for the whole year. I'm just so excited for this, and this comes out October 10th. So Cassandra Clare is the author of all of the Shadowhunter books, and this is the first book that she's releasing by herself that is outside of that world. It's a new world, new characters, new story, new everything, and I'm so excited to see what that's like. I obviously am a big fan of the Shadowhunter books and that world and those characters, as you can probably tell by the full shelf behind me of those books, but I am really excited to see her branch out into something different. So in this book, you're following Kel, who is the sword catcher, which means that he is the body double for Prince Connor. They've grown up together, they've trained together, and Kel's one purpose is really to protect Connor and to die for him. Then we also have another character named Lynn, who is a part of this small community of people who still possess magic, and this community is supposed to, by law, live behind these certain walls, but she travels, of course, she ventures out beyond these to heal people, and there is a specific person that she is trying to heal, but she needs specific sorts of magic and knowledge, this forbidden knowledge, in order to heal this person. But then Kel and Lynn are brought together after a failed assassination attempt. It says they are drawn into the web of the mysterious Ragpicker King, the criminal ruler of Castellane's underworld. And Castellane is the world in which this book takes place. It says he offers them each what they want most, but as they descend into his world of intrigue and shadow, they discover a conspiracy of corruption that reaches from the darkest gutters of Castellane to the highest tower of its palaces. As long-kept secrets begin to unravel, they must ask themselves, is knowledge worth the price of betrayal? Can forbidden love bring down a kingdom? And will Lynn and Kel's discoveries plunge their nation into war and the world into chaos? I think this sounds really cool. I've tried to keep my expectations really low with this book just because, you know, it is a book that is outside of the Shadowhunter world. It is very different from what I typically read, obviously from Cassandra Clare, so I don't want to get my hopes up too high that I'm going to love this, but it does sound really intriguing. And once again, we have some more royalty within this novel, and that is something that I really enjoy, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see what the kind of corruption throughout this royal family and through the palace and everything, like what that is all about. And I think the characters sound really interesting, the world sounds really interesting, and it does sound very different from the Shadowhunter books. So I don't know, I'm very excited, very intrigued, but like I said, I want to keep my expectations low just in case I get my hopes up too high. I don't want to be disappointed. And it is the first book in a series, and when I click on the series on Goodreads, we already have the name of the sequel, The Ragpicker King. There's no other information, doesn't have a release date or anything, but yeah, I'm definitely like intrigued by this series, and I'm really hoping that I love this as much as the Shadowhunter books. The next book that is also coming out on October 10th is Bittersweet in the Hollow. This is by Kate Purcell. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is another first book in a new series. I'm really good at getting excited about new series instead of finishing the ones I've already started. So the description of this book says, in rural Cabell Hollow, surrounded by the vast national forest, the James women serve up more than fried green tomatoes at the Harvest Moon Diner, where the family recipes are not the only secrets. Like her sisters, Lyndon was born with an unusual ability. She can taste what others are feeling, but this so-called gift soured her relationship with the vexingly attractive Cole Spencer one fateful night a year ago. A night when Lyndon vanished into the depths of the forest and returned with no memories of what happened, just a litany of questions, and a haze of nightmares that suggests there's more to her story than simply getting lost. Now during the hottest summer on record, another girl in town is gone, and the similarities to last year's events are striking. Except this time, the missing girl doesn't make it home, and when her body is discovered, the scene unmistakably spells murder. As tempers boil over, Lyndon enlists the help of her sisters to find what's hiding in the forest before it finds her. But as she starts digging for truth about the moth-winged man rumored to haunt the Hollow, about her bitter rift with Cole, and even about her family, she must question if some secrets are best left buried. I did not read this description before filming this, and I'm like, is this the Mothman inspired book? Is that what's happening right now? But yeah, it sounds really, really interesting, very mysterious, and it does say at the beginning of the description that it's for fans of House of Hollow and Wilder Girls, and I haven't read Wilder Girls. I have really no interest in that. I don't think I'd like it. Of what I've heard of like the body horror in that book, I couldn't do it. However, House of Hollow I have read, and that book is very, very weird, and I definitely get the similarities of like girls going missing, coming back, not remembering what happened to them, and then it kind of happening again. I do get those similarities, so I'm definitely intrigued. So yeah, very spooky, very mysterious, but very intriguing. I'm wondering if it is going to be like more fantastical and paranormal, or if it's going to lean more towards like a very normal explanation for what's going on, but it does have me intrigued to find out. So this is definitely one that I'm keeping my eye on, and I'm excited to pick up in the spooky season. The next book is one that I didn't even know was happening until today when I looked at my responses on my Instagram story asking you all for your anticipated releases for the rest of the year. I didn't know that this was happening, and now I'm so excited. It's Stars in Your Eyes by Kaysen Callender. This is coming out October 10th. A lot of October 10 releases, but this is the same author as Felix Ever After, which was one of my favorite books of last year. I loved that book so much, and so I'm really excited to read something else from them. And because I only found out about this book this morning, I kind of added this to my Goodreads shelf, and I have yet to read the description. So I don't even know what it's about, but I'm excited about it, and I'm sure I'm gonna read it and love it. Okay, it says that it is a beautifully tender story of two grumpy sunshine fake dating actors navigating their love story both on and off screen. Grumpy sunshine fake dating. Sold. I'm sold. I don't need to read anything else. No, I'm kidding. I will read the description, but honestly, like, those are two of my favorite tropes, two of my favorite dynamics to read about. I'm so excited. Okay. Logan Gray is Hollywood's bad boy, a talented but troubled actor who the public loves to hate. Maddie Cole is an up-and-coming golden boy, adored by all but plagued by insecurities. When Logan and Maddie are cast as leads in a new romantic film, Logan claims that Matt has zero talent. Oh, that's mean. Sending the film's publicity into a nosedive. To create positive buzz, the two are persuaded into a fake dating scheme. But as the two actors get to know their new characters, real feelings start to develop. Oh, I'm so excited. As public scrutiny intensifies and old wounds resurface, the two must fight for their relationship and their love. A heartfelt, hopeful, and nuanced story about identity, healing, and growth. I love this. I'm so excited. This sounds amazing. So I feel like when I think about books I've read with like fame or like famous people as like the main characters, I don't necessarily always love that aspect. It's normally what else is happening in the book that I enjoy. So I'm not super excited about the fact that they're famous. However, the whole fake dating aspect, grumpy sunshine, the fact that they seem to not maybe get off on the right foot at the beginning because one of them says that the other has zero talent, that's not very nice. So I'm sure it's kind of like an enemies or just like hate to love sort of thing in fake dating. It just has so many things that I enjoy. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. I didn't even know that this was happening until this morning, and now this is probably like one of my most anticipated releases for the next few months. I'm so excited for this. And something I loved about Felix Ever After was the romance and the like very like honest and real portrayal of people. Like those characters felt like real people. Their mistakes felt very real. So I just feel like this is going to be perfect. That I'm going to absolutely love this. I'm so excited. Ugh, wow. Thank you to the person who told me about this. Let me see who actually sent this in on Instagram. It was Sarah. Sarah, thank you so much. I will put your response on the screen because they also gave another book as well. Thank you so much for telling me about this because I don't know if I would have found out about this as soon as I did if it weren't for you, and now I'm so excited about this. Oh, I'm still saying I'm so excited about every book. I'm so sorry, everybody. Next up, we have a graphic novel, a little bit something different. We have If You'll Have Me by Uni. I have no idea how to pronounce this name. I'm so sorry. This is coming out October 17th, and I think I saw this, like, I think this person, their art came up on Twitter, and they've, like, I don't know if this was a, like, webcomic or something beforehand, or if I just saw, like, a comic of theirs online. Somehow I saw this person and their art online, and that's how I found out about this. But like I said, this is a graphic novel, and you're following Momo Gardner, and she is the kind of friend who's always ready to lend a helping hand. She's introverted, sensitive, and maybe a little too trusting, but she likes to believe the best in people. Oh, she's me. Then we have PJ, who, on the other hand, is a bit of a lone wolf, despite her reputation for being a flirt and a player. Underneath all that cool mystery, she's actually quick to smile, and when she falls for someone, she falls hard. An unexpected meet-cute brings the two together, kicking off the beginning of an awkward yet endearing courtship, but their drastically different personalities, Momo's overprotective friend, and PJ's past coming back to haunt her, Momo and PJ's romance is put to the test. Just seems really cute, really wholesome, and clearly I've seen this author's and artist's art online, and so I know I'm going to enjoy the art style. I mean, the cover is very, very cute, so yeah, I wish I could remember how I found out about this, but it seems really cute. I also just love a graphic novel. I feel like I never know about like graphic novel new releases as often as I do like other novels, so something a little different, something I'm very interested in picking up. Ooh, next is one that I'm sure a lot of people are gonna have in anticipated releases videos for the fall, and that is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. This is the second book in the Fourth Wing series, and this is coming out November 7th. So yes, this is a sequel to Fourth Wing. I'm sure you've at least heard of that book. I'm sure you're all sick of actually hearing about it, but I read it, and I really had a good time with it. Is it the best book I've ever read? Are there some cringy moments? Yeah, sure, but did I have fun? Absolutely. So I'm very excited for this sequel. So I'm not going to read what the description of Iron Flame is just because it is the second book in the series, but Fourth Wing, you're following a character named Violet, and she has been training her whole life to be a scribe in this military. There's this military academy where you learn different things, and she's been training to be a scribe. However, her mom is a part of like the military, like she is like the military's leader, and she's like, yeah, no daughter of mine is going to be a scribe. You have to be a rider. So she very quickly has to pivot and learn how to become a dragon rider, which she has not been trained for at all. And it's a very intense training experience. The academy for the riders is very intense. People are trying to kill people all the time. People die doing all of these training exercises as well. It's just very dangerous. And she was not really prepared for that at all. And then there's also some people at this academy that want her dead, including Xaden, who is a very attractive man. However, he was the son son of the leader of the rebellion that happened like a few years ago, so he's not very trustworthy and has a lot of reasons to want Violet dead. So it's just such a fun book. I had so much fun with it. Like I said, it can be a bit silly at times, a bit cheesy, cringy, whatever, but I had a great time. The romance is fun, the training and the whole like military academy aspect of it I really enjoy because I love that type of setting. And also there's dragons, so like what else could you want? And actually, now that we're talking about it, it's reminding me that I need to pre-order this. I still don't even have a copy of Fourth Wing yet, but when that book like first came out and when I read it, it was impossible to get a copy. And I think like the first editions of this is gonna have like sprayed edges or something, which I don't really care about. I just want to be able to have access to a copy of this book as soon as possible. So need to remember to pre-order this so I can actually get my hands on a copy. Need to buy Fourth Wing, and I'm ready for this. It's gonna be so much fun. And the fact that we also didn't have to wait super long for the sequel as well is just super great because Fourth Wing came out earlier this year. So very happy that we don't have to wait too long to find out what happens next, because the way Fourth Wing ends, I need this. I need Iron Flame right now. Okay, next up we have a romance. We have Do Your Worst by Rosie Denon, and this is coming out November 14th. This is one that I've seen a little bit online, but I still don't really know fully what it's about, so let's read it together, shall we? Sparks fly. Taylor Swift, already sold. Anyway, it says sparks fly when an occult expert and a disgraced archaeologist become enemies with benefits in this steamy romance. Incredible. Already love it. Riley Rhodes finally has the chance to turn her family's knack for the supernatural into a legitimate business when she's hired to break the curse on an infamous Scottish castle. What an incredible start. Okay, used to working alone in her alienating occupation, she's pleasantly surprised to meet a handsome stranger upon arrival until he tries to get her fired. Okay, I believe there's a lawnmower outside, so apologies if you can hear that. Anyways, fresh off a professional scandal, Clark Edgware can't allow a self-proclaimed curse breaker to threaten his last chance for redemption. After he fails to get Riley kicked off his survey site, he vows to avoid her. Unfortunately for him, she vows to get even. Riley expects the curse to do her dirty work by driving Clark away, but instead they keep finding themselves in close proximity. Too close. Turns out the only thing they do better than fight is fool around. If they're not careful, by the end of all this, more than the castle will end up in ruins. That sounds so fun, so cute. I love the whole like rivals to lovers, rivals to benefits, if you will, whole aspect of this, the fact that it's set in a castle. It sounds really, really fun, and the lawnmower is really distracting me, so we'll come back once that's done. All right, lawnmower's done. I've had some cheese. All is well in the world. Let's get back into it. So the next book I wanted to mention is Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. This is by Lex Croucher, and this is coming out November 28th. So this book just sounds super fun and really, really cute. We have Arthur, who is a descendant of King Arthur, and he is going to be a future lord, but he's also been betrothed to Gwendolyn, who is the Princess of England for their whole lives. And the thing is that they despise each other. They do not get along, they do not like each other. But then Gwendolyn ends up discovering Arthur kissing a boy, and Arthur ends up finding out that Gwen has a crush on the only woman knight in the kingdom, and they realize that they can actually work together and they work better as allies than as enemies. So I think they start like covering for each other so that they can be with who they actually want to be, and it just sounds really, really cute. I think there's like a annual royal tournament, so maybe a little competition element in the book as well, but it just sounds really cute and really fun. And I'm also just obsessed with this cover. I don't know why. Something about it I just really like. I think I just enjoy the art style, and also the fact that the background is pink, and anything pink makes me happy. And also like the detail on the G and the A on the cover. I don't know, something about this cover just really works for me, and it just sounds really cute. So definitely one that I'm going to be keeping my eye out on and maybe picking up. The next book is one that I also just recently found out about. It is called The Kingdom of Sweets. This is by Erica Johansson, and this is also coming out on November 28th. So this is actually a dark take on the Nutcracker story, which definitely has me intrigued. I just love the Nutcracker story for some reason. It all started with my obsession with the Barbie and Nutcracker movie, but it's just continued throughout my life. I love that story. I really want to see a performance of the ballet. I don't know what it is about the Nutcracker. but I love it. So this definitely intrigues me. And so the description says, light and dark, this is the destiny placed upon Natasha and Clara, the birthright bestowed by their godfather, the mysterious sorcerer Drosselmeyer. Clara, the favorite, grows into beauty and ease, while Natasha is cursed to live in her sister's shadow. But one fateful Christmas Eve, Natasha gets her chance at revenge, for Drosselmeyer has brought the Nutcracker, an enchanted present that offers entry into a deceptively beautiful world, the Kingdom of Sweets. In this land of snow and sugar, Natasha is presented with a power far greater than Drosselmeyer, the sugar plum fairy who is also full of gifts and dreadful bargains. As Natasha uncovers the dark destiny laid before her birth, she must reckon with powers both earthly and magical, and decide to which world she truly belongs. So this sounds really fun. Definitely has like a dark twist, I think, on the Nutcracker story, which definitely intrigues me. I also think it's interesting to give Clara a sister and have them be this representation and have this curse on them of light and dark. And I'm wondering if like maybe Clara isn't as good as she seems. And I think that that would be a really interesting like spin on the story. I don't know, this just seems really fun to me. And I feel like because I really like the Nutcracker story, I'm always intrigued by Nutcracker retellings, but have I read a single one? No. So I'm really hoping this is the year I can change that. Maybe this is the one that I end up picking up. We will see. Also, there are two different covers for this book. There's this one, and then there's this one. And I'm obsessed with this. I don't know if this is like the UK edition. I don't know what the difference is between these covers, why there's different covers, but I'm obsessed with this one. So if I end up reading this and liking it, I'm gonna have to get my hands on this cover. But yeah, this just seems really fun and could be a fun read to pick up in December in the Christmas season. All right, one final book to chat about, and it's one we don't really have a whole lot of info on, and it's also a part of a very popular series, so you probably know what it's about anyways. We have Heartstopper, Volume 5 by Alice Oseman. We are finally getting the 5th installment in the series, and I'm so excited. I think this was originally planned to come out like sometime last year, but Alice Oseman, rightfully so, as they should, took a bit of a break from working on Heartstopper, like the comics and writing it, and also because she was working on the show and everything. So there was a lot going on in Alice Oseman's life. So I understand exactly why they took a break. It was well deserved, well needed, but now we're coming back for Volume 5, and this is coming out December 7th. I don't know if I said that already. And what's really exciting about this is that the 5th volume was originally supposed to be the final volume of Heartstopper, but surprise, surprise, Alice Oseman decided to treat us and say, you know what? No, there's going to be one more. So I think Volume 6 is going to be the final one. So I'm really happy that this isn't the final one, that it's not almost, well, it is almost over, but we still have one more after this. And Heartstopper, if you don't know, you're following Nick and Charlie as they meet in school and fall in love and start this relationship. But we have Nick, who thought he was straight up until this moment, up until he met Charlie. And Charlie was outed like the year before he met Nick and is really still struggling from the effects of being bullied after that, and also has a lot of things going on with his mental health that he's still dealing with. So it is a lot of lighthearted and cute, wholesome moments, but there are some more difficult and emotional moments in this series as well. But I love the Heartstopper series. I love the show. I love the graphic novels. Any type of Heartstopper content, I love it. So I'm very happy to finally be getting Volume 5. I'm so excited to see what the cover is going to look like as well, because all of the covers have kind of had different colors, so I'm interested to see what it looks like, what color we get. I feel like there has to be a blue cover at some point because we haven't gotten one yet. We do have a blue spine with the second volume, but no blue cover. So I feel like maybe it could be blue. But then we have Volume 6, so I'm curious to see what color that is. Maybe like a pink or a reddish pink maybe. I feel like it's gotta be one of the other. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but it'll be really fun to see what the cover ends up looking like. I'm really excited for that reveal. But yeah, I absolutely love Heartstopper. It's such a comfort series for me. So definitely looking forward to a new volume in this series coming out. But that is it. Those are all 10 books that are kind of on my radar for the rest of the year that are being released. Obviously, I know there are so many more that I didn't mention. So if there's anything that you know of that you're really anticipating, definitely leave a comment down below and I will add it to my Goodreads shelf. I also forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, I will have my Goodreads and my Storygraph shelves of 2023 releases linked below in case you want to just take a look through everything that maybe I did or didn't mention. I'm constantly adding to them, and also you can add them to your own shelves. But yes, as always, let me know any anticipated releases you have. If you're excited about any of these books, I'd love to chat about them down below. But that is going to be it for my fall anticipated releases. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.